What it is, YouTube peeps. So in this episode, we get this bad boy fired up, but we have some issues. All right, guys, I think it's that time to try to fire this bad boy up. Now, I've been kind of struggling with a bunch of issues already. Kind of run you through what those were. And there's no guarantees that we'll fire it up in this video, just because brand new setup like this, there's so many things that could go wrong, including the tune-up, you know, the way the sensors are wired or in the right place and all that kind of stuff. So kind of give you it's not the prettiest thing because there's no body on it. There's the body. So the first issue I had was on this Y block here. It's set up for O-ring fittings. So it's got those orb fittings. And as soon as I kicked the fuel pump on, there was this fuel pouring out. It's almost like they didn't machine enough off of this thing. So I had to take it off, machine some off the top, machine a little bit off the bottom, put it back together, fired up the fuel pump, and everything seems to be pretty good now. No fuel leaks. And then I already tried to kind of turn it over and wrong starter. So long story short, I had a Proform high torque starter that I had bought for the Goose when I built the Goose. And it didn't work. Took it off, found out that they make one for automatic, one for manual. The one I had was for manual, supposedly. So I bought one for an automatic, put it in the Goose. Figured I'd keep the one for the manual for the Bibster and put it in, and it doesn't work either. It's like not the right offset. So I bought the same one I've got on the Goose. And I'll just keep my other one as a spare, I guess, because the actual housing that makes a difference can be taken off, so the motor and stuff's all the same. So I'm getting ready to put that back on now. I gotta put the coils back on, the wires. Yeah, we'll get after that. All right, everything's back together. I don't know if I showed you guys. I made custom wires. So all the wires are in, both sides. So now I'm just gonna hook the laptop up. Everything should be dialed. I've got most everything kind of hardwired, except for just a couple wires. So I've got this wire here, which is the power for the relays, and then because everything's ground switched, and then I've just got some temporary switches now, mainly because I got to make some panels in here to house them. Don't have wideband O2 set up, don't have a lot of my sensors set up. Just kind of want to make sure this thing's gonna fire up, make sure I ain't got to pull the engine stuff back out for some odd reason before I go, you know, finishing up all that stuff. So let's hook laptop up, kind of see what we got, and then give her a shot. Custom little tuning desk. Hey, to be honest with you, at this point, I'm just hoping that the starter is right. I mean, I'm assuming it's the same issue that I had on the Goose, but I don't really know, to be honest with you. All right. Connected. I think we're about ready to go. Oh shit, did I leave the switch on? I did. Go ahead and put it out there. This would be a huge relief if this thing just fires up. Cross your fingers. Okay, I think I may have found the issue. So the way that these are wired, the amp EFI just has them labeled A, B, C, D all the way through. And so these have to basically correspond with whatever cylinder is firing in the order. So this needs to go to 1, 3, 7, 2, 6, 5, 4, 8, like that. And I think I did it like cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4, like that. Because took my ohm meter and I just pulled one of the plugs on the coil and it's not in the right spot, which would explain why I got like one pop and it's doing some funkiness. So I'm gonna test all those. I'm gonna test the injectors as well, kind of make sure all those are the same, and then I'll be back. So I can get it to run, it'll fire up and run just fine, and then next time I try to crank it, not so much. I don't know if it's a trigger wheel, I don't know if it's a fuel issue, I don't know what it is. I'm working with the guys at Amp EFI now to try to figure it out. I've been messing around with the computer on this thing a lot. It's got, this Amp EFI Evo has so many features that it's good if you kind of understand what you're doing, but it makes it easier to kind of do something wrong, right? Select something wrong or whatever. So I'm really excited that I've got it, because once it's dialed, I'm gonna have so many options, but just kind of the learning curve is a little bit longer than I'd want it to be. I wasn't able to get it to idle, so you don't really hear it camming, and I don't think you get any perspective on how loud it is. with the microphone on the camera. It's loud, maybe too loud. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but it's gonna be pretty obnoxious on the street. All right, guys, well, that's the fire up. I mean, it's not as clean and simple as I hoped it would be. Still trying to fight some issues, still working with the guys at Amplify. I feel confident we'll get it dialed, figure it out. Once this thing kind of runs and cranks, and I don't feel like I have to work on anything, I'm gonna put the body back on it, start finishing up that stuff. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to put the body on it because it's so easy to work with no body on it. So what I may do though, the next couple of videos, because I want to put out some content, may do some plasma table projects. So I've got some sheet metal, it's got some 11 gauge, got 2 sheets of 16 gauge, I believe is what it is. I've already started cutting stuff. So battery powered tool holders are coming soon. Rotation gauges, some bottle openers, cut a bunch of air tool holders. So stay tuned, killfab.com. Those things will be on the site very soon. I want to make sure I have all the inventory stocked before I list them, because I know there's a bunch of people out there waiting for those things. One of the things I want to do is a C10 inspired fire pit. So I've already got that designed. We may do a full build on that, maybe the next video or the video after that. But yeah, so there you go, man. The bips are fired up. One step closer. I feel like I'm so close, but so far away. I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop on how I get that thing, you know, what the progress is on it, you know, what I find out, what I figure out, if we can get it fixed, figured out. And yeah, man, once that thing's running, body's back on, I can start finishing up some of the little things, get the hydraulic system done, and we can drive it. A little sneak peek. So that is the battery powered tool holder. So there's this slide right in there. Anyway, as always, thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys soon. Go do work, son.